What is up, YouTube? That's here, bringing you guys some more Pokemon Showdown Replay analysis. This video is going to be similar to the last one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that last one, but we are going to still be playing with the exact same team. We're going to be using Ghostium Z, Aegislash, Choice Scarf Landorus. We're going to be using 50% Berry Feeny, Misty Seed Zapdos. I think we're still using Misty Seed Zapdos at this point. I think I changed that in the future, though, because I like the 50% Berry on Zapdos. That's just more my playstyle, I guess. We're using Mega Venusaur, which in my opinion is one of the best Megas in the game right now. And also Assault Vest Incineroar. Very underrated Pokemon. Today we're going to be starting off the game against somewhat of a Trick Room team. If you remember in the last video, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to completely turn by turn break down everything that's happening. I'm going to be explaining why I make the moves I make and how that influences the opponent and how we can further get better at reading our opponents through the use of our own play, using what we do and the information we have to affect our opponent and make them do the things that we want to do. So we can see our opponent's team. We're going to see Gastrodon, Lucario, potentially Mega Lucario, I guess, Slowbro, I guess, potentially Mega Slowbro, I guess, Koko, Marowak, and Hariyama. I was going to say hello, Marowak. So yeah, so anyways, pretty standard team. I know Slowbro Gastrodon, or Slow King Gastrodon's been pretty popular recently, so I'm looking at his team. Remember, the first thing we want to do whenever we look at teams is we want to scout all the obvious items, and the most obvious items are going to be those Mega Stones. So like I said, 2 Mega Stones could potentially be Slowbro or Lucario. After that, we want to see potential scarves, sashes, vests, or other items specific to certain Pokemon. So we can see potential, I almost want to say stash on the Koko. I guess Koko could also hold the Orb. But in this scenario, I actually think it wouldn't be that bad of an idea to put a stash on the top of Koko. Top of Koko is pretty weird in this team overall, but he has a little bit of a synergy with Marowak. We can also see Marowak probably has a Thick Club, and Hariyama can potentially have a Flame Orb or something like that. Those are specific items to those 2 Pokemon. Gastrodon's the only real enigma in this team. It can hold like a 50% berry, it can hold a citrus berry, it can hold leftovers, but can also hold... Oh, what is that berry? Is it the Rindo berry? No, that's the one that reduces berry. Not the Walken berry, that reduces electric attacks. Whatever the 50% berry is that reduces grass type attacks, and we're going to actually play around that for most of the game. So we're going to look at his team. I almost want to say there's also a high chance of that Lucario having a Choice Scarf or a Focus Sash as well. Those are both common items on the Lucario that you should watch out for. Slowbro can also hold 50% berry, citrus, and all those bulky items as well, but I really thought going into this game it was going to be Mega Slowbro. Like, I just had Slowbro, Mega Slowbro in my brain. I thought it was a Scarf Lucario and Mega Slowbro. That's kind of what I thought. So I decided to go with the team that can kind of get around that. And you guys are going to see me in this game. This is the perfect example of bringing the correct 4 Pokemon in the right situation and knowing what to do when things don't work. So things I thought that could happen here through this lead. I thought he would go Fake Out. I thought he would go Hariyama Slowbro, or Lucario Slowbro, or Koko Slowbro. I know Slowbro was going to be the lead. It's his Trick Room setter. He kind of needs that to win more often than not. He's going to get the Trick Room up. So what we do against Trick Room is we bring our Aegislash. You can't Fake Out it, and I got that huge Ghostium Z. Super effect, which just pops you right in the face if I need to. So I think, do I do that? No, I don't do that. I should do that, but I don't. So, yeah, I didn't do that because I didn't want to get bodied by Aegislash, and I didn't want other things to happen. So, I went with a different play. I looked at his board, and I thought, I realized that none of his Pokemon can hit our Venusaur. Right? Am I wrong? Think about it. They can kind of hit it. Lucario can kind of, he can like Final Gambit, but I won't go down. Gastrodon ain't doing nothing. Koko and Slowbro ain't doing nothing. Marowak can hit me, but it's neutral, and then, like, I'll just Leech Seed him and wait him out. And then Hariyama can hit me, but it doesn't really do anything. So, Venusaur is amazing, and looking at this board, I thought, well, I can probably just go Incineroar. I have a higher Fake-Out speed tiering priority than he does, so my Fake-Out will automatically go first. I can insinuate like a Fake-Out trade, or I can Fake Out his Fake-Out if I want to incapacitate him for the turn, if that is a thing that I choose to do. So I have the right of way because my Pokemon is faster than his. And then Incineroar is just generally good against most of these guys, like Knockoff versus a Marowak? Oh my gosh, that's such big damage. It's sure to get a KO. And I'd like to knock off the other mons too, especially like that Slowbro, maybe the Gastrodon. And then against like Koko and Lucario, I'm fine as long as, you know, they don't bust out something stupid. So I decided to go with Venusaur and Incineroar here. But also, I know we're taking a long time here. You gotta bring the right Pokemon in the back to win the game. Like, Landorus, you may think Landorus is bad here, but if he doesn't get the Trick Room up, Landorus rolls him. Landorus just rolls him. Marowak, Koko, Lucario. All his mons that deal the damage, they lose to the Landorus. And also, he has a few physical attackers, and if I intimidate any of them, they're pretty useless at breaking through my Venusaur and my other Pokemon. So Landorus, while not being amazing, it's definitely not elite here. It's a great Pokemon to have in the back. And then the best Pokemon to have is if my panic button, if he gets his Trick Room up, you gotta bring that Aegislash, because I'm slow. I'm so slow, especially with this Aegislash set, like 0 speed with negative nature. You just body those guys. They get up the Trick Room, and you're just like, fine, you're in my room now, and you just body them with that huge Z move or what have you. So we're gonna start the game off here, and you can see I lead Incineroar and Venusaur, and he is gonna be leading, I think, Slowbro and Hariyama. So let's look at this board. What do you do here? What does he want to do? He wants to set up a Trick Room, right? He wants to set up that Trick Room. I know he wants to set up the Trick Room. And can we actually see stats on, no, we can't see stats on the replay. Oh well. So he wants to set up Trick Room. And I know he does, so I think he's going to go Fake Out onto my Venusaur and Trick Room. So what we're going to do is we're going to trade Fake Outs for the first turn, because I completely have the right way to do that. So I'm going to go Mega Venusaur, and right here is where I messed up. Right here's where I messed up. I'm like, he didn't, I did not take fully into account that he did not Mega Evolve. So, looking at this board, I should have seen right away, he does not have the Mega Stone. He does not have it. He has some sort of berry or, and he doesn't have lefties. He has a berry or a Z move right now. I know this. And this is where I mess up. You're thinking all you gotta do is just hit the Slowbro with both your Mons and you win, right? Because that's what I did. That's what I did. And this is where I messed up. Incineroar is actually slower than this Venusaur. And I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought Incineroar was going to be faster because Incineroar is a cat. And that's me completely misreading the game here. And you're going to see it cost me. So what I do is my Venusaur is going to go first. It's going to go for a huge Giga Drain. Huge. And I proc a berry. And you may be thinking, that's fine. Incineroar is fine. Knockoff doesn't have anything to knock off. So we don't get the KO. And we lose our Incineroar. I think we got crit too. Look at that, look how bad that went. Look how bad that went. That's what you get for not paying attention. And all of that could have been avoided. All of that could have been avoided once I saw that he wasn't Mega. Like, I should have known that something was not correct. I should have done something. What I should have done there, and you may be thinking, you couldn't have avoided that. You know, you couldn't have done anything about that. I could have. Sludge Bombed the Knockoff and gotten the KO. Knockoff would have done double damage, and, like, it would have been enough. It would have been enough. So, I could have played that 100% better. And I didn't. So, how do I win this game? Like, all is lost. He has all 4 of his Pokemon. He has his Trick Room up. I'm not in a good spot. But remember, we have our panic button. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We have Aegislash coming in here. Aegislash is pretty bulky. So, he's gonna switch in the Marowak. And you see that we actually go for a King Shield this first turn. And you may be thinking, like, you had the right of way. You could have just attacked. I could have attacked. I could have attacked the Hariyama. I could have blown my Z move on that slot, or probably just Shadow Ball, but I don't have to. And now his Hariyama comes back in. What we're trying to do is we're trying to wait out the Trick Room, because remember, our last mon is Landorus. We want to be able to use the Landorus correctly. So right here, my Protect is on cooldown on Aegislash. My Protect on Venusaur is not on cooldown, but what's he gonna do? All he has is Fake Out. So we're gonna sit here, we're gonna switch out. We know that he's Fake Outing us, so we're just gonna get a juicy Double Intimidate. That's the juiciest Double Intimidate. It actually would have protected our Aegislash from like a Shadow Bone and like a hard nuke. And anyways, Aegislash is just faster, slower than Marowak. So we bust our Z move out on the Marowak. I probably could have just Shadow Ball, but I used the Z move just in case, and now we see the Gastrodon here. And so we're obviously trying to wait out the Trick Room. We're gonna go for a King Shield, and we're gonna let his Gastrodon do whatever it wants. And he actually decides to go for a Z move with his Gastrodon. That's so fine. I'm so fine. You blown your Z move. You've shown me your item. You show me that you don't have the Super Berry. And yeah, that's completely okay with me. That's 100% fine. We have Venusaur, a mon that he can't really hit. So you're gonna see he goes for a Sludge Bomb. That's not doing too much. And an Ice Punch. He's trying to freeze us, which is probably the correct play. We're going to just go offensive stance. I probably could have protected that turn with my Venusaur and not taken that damage. So that might have been a little bit of a misplay. We decided to just double hit the Gastrodon because that is, which is only win condition. The -4 Hariyama isn't doing anything. And Twisted Dimensions returned to normal, and we waited out the Trick Room. We got him. So one thing I want to talk about, I think the biggest misplay other than the complete debauchery that was turn 2 was this turn right here. So resume. You can see my Venusaur is at about 70%, and I eat a Sludge Bomb, and I eat an Ice Punch. Now, I didn't have to eat those moves. I didn't have to eat them. I should have actually protected that turn. This is the last turn of Trick Room. And I knew that he had nothing on me. But I didn't factor in Ice Punch. It's obvious. You may be thinking I don't need to factor in Ice Punch. Like, I don't need. Like, I was completely fine, and I was completely fine. But you know, hindsight, if I wanted to tighten up my game, this would be the turn that I would have done. I would have protected with Venusaur, just attacked something with Aegislash. Aegislash would have been stuck in offensive stance, but then we just body the guy that turn. So another. If we're actually just going to look at this completely, trying to analyze it. If I would have protected there, he probably would have tried to protect Beta's next turn, and he would have potentially gotten a KO on our Aegislash. So, hindsight 2020 both directions, I still think I should have played a little bit more patiently here. So, with this team, you know, it rewards definitely a patient playstyle. So, if I'd have been a little bit more patient, not pulled the trigger on the last turn of Trick Room, I think that would have been a little bit better for me. Other than that, though, very, very solid game. I made 2 misplays, this one and the turn 1. Or turn 2, completely misanalyzing the Slowbro. So other than that, I think it did pretty good. He got up his Trick Room, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna fight because he has no Pokemon that can hit Venusaur because Venusaur is like really, really good right now. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna look at this replay next. And looking at this replay, it's a pretty wacky team, right? That's a pretty wacky looking team, and I don't really remember that much about this game, but we're gonna analyze this game just like any other game. First thing we're gonna look at, any Megas? Why, yes, there is one. Mega Venusaur. This guy knows what's up. He's hype onto the Mega Venusaur hype train. So, potential for Mega Venusaur on our opponent. Other items like Sash, Scarfs, Vests. I really think that there is a vest on that Electros. And he didn't bring the Electros, but when I played with Electros in 2013, I used a vested one, I think. Was it 2013? Or was it 2014? No, I played with Electros, and I remember Bulk, and then, oh yeah, it was in singles in Gen 6, I used Vested Electros. So, like, I know that Pokemon works with the Vest. I don't think it's caught on just yet. I remember Electros used to be really big in older formats, though. Electros, he didn't bring it. I don't even know what we're talking about it. Ninetales can have Sash or Light Clay. Kabutops is probably his Z-move user, but Kabutops is also a very, very strong Sash user. Politoed probably has a 50% berry, and then Mimikyu is like a whole Swiss Army knife of things. It can have Z-move, it can have Mental Herb, it can have Sash, which is like the scariest thing, because it's like 3 Pokemon in 1. It can have a bunch of different items. It can also have like a Life Orb and other things like that, but looking at this, that's probably where his Z-move is probably on that Mimikyu. It's probably the Let's Snuggle Forever unique Mimikyu Z-move boosted off of Play Rough. So, we can look at that. Looking at what we're going to do, I realized, looking at his team, if I lead Landorus and he leads like Rain, like, first of all, looking at this, why would you bring Landorus to this game if you're me? Just think about it. Landorus looks terrible. You know, he can't hit the Electros. He has Venusaur, Rain, and Ninetales, and Mimikyu. Like, Landorus really doesn't do that well here. And what I'm thinking is, my Venusaur will carry me to victory only if I can neuter that Kabutops out of the game. So, I'm putting everything in my Venusaur basket and hoping that my Venusaur can beat his Venusaur for the most part. Maybe not hoping, I'm just confident. And I realize, if I get Intimidate off, I'm probably going to win. So what we're going to do is we're going to go Landorus, Venusaur. We're also going to bring Feeny, because Feeny is pretty good against Rain. I think I bring Feeny here. I could be wrong. No, I definitely bring the Feeny, I think. Actually, do I lead Feeny? Actually, I think I might lead Feeny and Lando. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Here we go. Yeah, we do eat Feeny and Lando. Perfect. Yeah, this is a good lead for me. We're saving the the Venusaur until we really need it. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna hard switch in the Venusaur. And remember, we intimidated the Kabutops and we actually got a juicy double miss. I was going for the Scald. Actually, this is a whole weird turn. So I went for the Scald there, and you'd be like, oh man, you're really going for Scald hacks? Kind of. I mean, there's no really reason to Icy win these guys because he has the Swift Swimmer on Kabutops. And remember, like I said, Kabutops is most likely Sash, so you gotta break that eventually, and if I can get the burn on him, that would be amazing. And remember, Scald is boosted off of the power of the Rain and the Stab, so I was putting a little bit in the 30% basket, I'm not gonna lie, but we got a hard switch into Venusaur, and we switched out something that was weak for Ice in for something that was weak for Ice. That's a little bit of a misplay, but we're gonna completely stabilize. He's gonna get his Rock Slides off, and look how weak they are now that they're intimidated. He's gonna get his Flinch, it makes up for it, and we're actually Giga Draining the Politoed instead of the Kabutops. Like I said, I can ignore Kabutops, he's intimidated, it's not important. So, he's gonna switch in his Venusaur finally, and the rock slides, they do matter, but it's not all that important. So we're gonna see. I go for the. I think I actually doubled into Kabutops slot that turn because I did want it gone. And let me just pause this. So I doubled up into Kabutops that turn because I knew he wasn't gonna protect, and I knew I could get flinch with one of my Mons, and I wanted one of them to be able to KO the Kabutops, and Tapu Fini was faster. It would have been beneficial to go for like a Giga Drain into Kabutops and like an Icy Wind, because I do want to Icy Wind his Venusaur here, so my Venusaur is always going to be faster. But we see Ninetales come in here, and I'm like, Ninetales, you have no power here. He goes for the Aurora Veil, which is pretty obvious, and I know that he's going for the Aurora Veil, so I can go for an Icy Wind here, and that's just to break Sash on the Ninetales if it was Sashed. I miss a Leech Seed, which incredibly sucks. We're going to lose our Fini, but remember, all we wanted was a speed control from our Venusaur, and we didn't even really need it. We were already faster than he was, but, you know, it's completely fine. So, he's going to switch in his Politoed. I go for a Giga Drain on what was Ninetales, because I knew Ninetales was switching out once I sent up my Incineroar, and you can think that, here we go. Look at the board. Look at the board state. We're going to influence his play and take advantage of it. So, we're going to Icy Wind here. This is a turn ago. And we don't even need this. So, but what this does is it sets up everything. So we're gonna lose our Fini. We're gonna send out our Incineroar. Right? And he still has the Aurora Veil up. So we send out the Incineroar. And I know that Ninetales is switching. I know it. He's lost his potential Sash. I mean, sure, he could have the Light Clay, but he also has the minus speed from that YOLO Icy Wind that he used last turn. So we know that he's going to be switching in Politoed. This is his last Mon. He only has 3 Mons. So we know that Politoed's going to be switching in. And, you know, that's completely fine with me. Because once Politoed switches in, he's going to have to send that Ninetales out. And then once Ninetales is stuck on the board, that's when we'll get him with the Incineroar. So what we're going to do, we're not even going to go for Fake Outs because we really don't need to. We can just go for the Giga Drain here, and we can go for the hard punish with Incineroar. This game, I remember that my Incineroar is slower than my Ninetales, and obviously Flare Blitz isn't doing that much to Venusaur. I was trying to get the burn. You know, there's no other real move to use. What am I going to do? Break the Venusaur? So what we're going to do here, remember, we're using a vested Incineroar. He doesn't do any damage to us. He doesn't do anything. So the way I'm looking at this is if I check his Ninetales, I'm going to be fine. The worst case scenario thing that would happen here, we're trying our best to avoid Encores, by the way. We get frozen with our Venusaur here. We're going to thaw out because we're amazing. We go for Giga Drain and Flare Blitz. I just want to do my best to not get disabled and Encored. So, like, Ninetales can get... What is it? Ninetales can get Disable, I think, is an egg move, but the common plays the Encore, so that's why you don't want to go for Protects and other things. Like, I went for the one Leech Seed that I went for, and then I was planning on switching, but, that's pretty much it. So, we got frozen, we thawed out. I don't really think we needed it, but, you know, we're gonna lose our Incineroar, but that's completely fine, because his Ninetales is gone, and that was the Pokemon stop on our Landorus. So Landorus is going to come back in here, and it's Landorus and Venusaur versus his Venusaur. I go for Protect DQ. I can't believe he didn't see that one coming. I didn't want to lock myself in a Rock Slide. I didn't want to. I realized that there's no way that he actually comes back and gets us. So we're going to be completely fine here, and he can go for Protect Slide once. I actually hit a double Protect. I thought that was pretty funny. I don't have to hit double Protects, but I just thought it was pretty funny. Do I hit the triple? I don't remember. No, I don't. He goes for the double and misses it, though. That's what happens. Yeah. So that's how we get this one out. And you can say, why would you lock yourself in an Earthquake there? There's no reason to lock yourself in an Earthquake. You might be right. I'm pretty sure he showed Energy Ball in the middle of the game somewhere on like an Incineroar switch-in, so I knew we didn't have Giga Drain. So that's why I decided to go for that play. Just because I knew that Landorus can just two-shot that guy. I don't have to bring Rock Slide misses into it. I don't have to bring... anything into it. I just have my strong attacks, and I can just two-shot the Venusaur right there, and he can't do anything about it. We know that he doesn't have Synthesis because he's using it in a Rain team, and even if he did have Leech Seed, if he took one of the turns to set up Leech Seed and Protect, I would go Earthquake for like 50%, even though he's not even a full, and then he would come back out, he'd go Protect for 2 turns with Leech Seed, and then I would just Earthquake him again from the 50%. So that was the plan I was going for, and we take those. So pretty good game. Let's see, did I really make any misplays that game? Probably. I got frozen. I put myself in a position where I got frozen, but I also made some really sick plays through the use of baiting that Ninetales. Yeah, this turn with the Incineroar, like where I know Ninetales is going to switch, and I completely just like read him for it. I got a free Giga Drain, get me some good health, and get some free chip damage on that Venusaur. So this was probably the most important turn of the game, I think. So this guy's team, not super competitive. We're still probably only in like the 1500s on Showdown, but you know, I just wanted to show like this is the this is actually the third game that I played with this team. I did these in backwards order because I felt that the first game was more important. But, you know, these games are the first couple games that I've actually played with this team. So it's not like I have a complete great grasp on the team yet. You know, it's, I haven't even used Zapdos really because I'm not a fan of Misty Seed. So that's pretty much all I have to say for these games. Hopefully you guys enjoy these type of videos. If you guys have teams you want me to review and use for all these things, leave them in the comments below. Just put the paste bit in the comments. I'll do my best to look at it. Of course, I'm probably going to tweak it to my playstyle. I know I use a lot of very unique EV spreads. Actually, they're not even unique. They're just unique to me. Like, when I say unique, I don't mean like, wow, look at that EV spread. That's so different and cool. It's like, more often than not, I kind of just like using, like, his Incineroar EV spread that he gave me was ridiculous. It had points in, like, all the stats. Like, he had, you know, like, 144 in HP, like, 186 in attack, like, 44 in speed, and, like, 36 in special D, and I'm like, man, I'm just gonna put, like, a little bit in speed. I think I put, like, just a little bit in speed to speed creep a couple things after Icy Wind. And then what else did I do? I put the rest in just HP and attack. Like, it's just default EV spreads that work for me. The Landorus EV spread is, I think, 216 in speed, and what is it? Like 40 in HP. It's literally nothing special. But anyways, that's all I got to show you guys for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.